How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, James, to the channel, to the Fourever Arsenal podcast. The fireworks are out. Look, well, his MacBook's excited that he's back. I don't know how excited Lee and Jordan are about it, but we're about to find out. Fourever Arsenal is back to being 4 people, and that's probably the most exciting news we've got to talk about tonight. So we'll stretch that out as much as possible, and there might be a match reaction on the side, and maybe a look into the brief future because we ain't got nothing to predict with Fulham game. 2.5 weeks away? But James, welcome back. How you been? What's new?
Yeah, good. It's good to be back. I was away. I know you guys were obviously very supportive. Yeah, I know you guys were very supportive of my time away, which is what friends are for. So I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for carrying the podcast without me. And it's so good to be back. All day I've just been like, oh, when's for Arsenal? Now I'm here.
We had record numbers while you was away, you know that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Through the roof. Through the roof.
I know. And isn't that great? And now I'm back.
It's unreal. I don't know why, but that was record numbers.
I'm like that player where you guys have won 10 games in a row and pulled yourself in the title race, and now I'm back from injury, ready to like contribute. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm doing, and it feels good. Yeah, fair play. No, I wanted to jump on, but like I was just on the beach.
No, you didn't. Don't bullshit.
I did. I was like, you know, and I was on the beach, like it was really warm and amazing, and I had like great food and drinks.
Was you under an umbrella?
And then I was like, no. I was tanning. If you see me in person, you'll realize I'm tan. Thank you. It's all in the comments of my fan account. And I was like,
I saw it. The top one was funny.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I got it. So I packed up my towel, and I wanted to rush back for Fourever Arsenal. And I was like, you know, this is what I want to do, not be at the beach having a good time. And then internet problems. So I wanted to. 5 times I tried to jump on, but I really couldn't. So I'm so sorry I couldn't be there. But now I've made it back.
You know what can do with your towel, don't you?
He's just giving you other uses for your towel. That's you know, it's messaging for other uses. But yeah, welcome back. I mean, when you left, what position was we in? Like, was we still? I don't. Does this whole thing coincide with you going? Because I'm sure your last thumbnail on Gooniverse before you left was still in it, or like believe, or some you know, some nonsense.
I dropped a believe, we can do it, it's not over, fled the country, and did watch us win a single Premier League game.
Oh my god, that was yeah.
All right, so here's where I left things. Yeah, it's like a little recap. West Ham at home. I think Liverpool had just drawn to Villa, and the week before they'd drawn to Everton. Yeah, thumbs up. There you go. My MacBook agrees. So I'm going to West Ham, which, by the way, I watched on a plane next to a very lovely lady who I was doing my absolute best. Like, just keep calm. Turned out the bloke behind me was a West Ham fan. I didn't realise till the end of the flight. So I'm watching that game. Big up Emirates, because you can watch live football on a plane, which is unbelievable. So I was watching that, and that was stress. If we'd won that West Ham game, I think we'd have gone 5 points behind Liverpool, who were about to go to the Etihad.
Yeah.
And I think it was Lee on this podcast made a great point, because I did tune in, by the way, a bit, not a lot, but a bit. And Lee said, had we won that game against West Ham, maybe Liverpool would have had a different pressure going into that game. But we removed all that for them. And look, by the way, fair play to Liverpool, great win at the Etihad. I didn't bother staying up for that. And we didn't win a single Premier League game the whole time I was out there. Now I'm back. So there we go. I did a 3 a.m. shift. I did a couple 7 a.m. shifts. So big up all the fans from the other side of the world who do that every week. That's very impressive. And yeah, the title race completely collapsed. So yeah, it was great.
It does feel like a while ago, that game. I remember 5 points. It would have been equal games played. Etihad trip to come. Let's put pressure on them. Make it 2 points before that Etihad game, and here we are. Welcome back, James.
I'm just glad James turned up to work. I'm just glad that he decided to put a shift in today. That's my joy. Just saying.
I don't know if he caught up on the last show, because you two were very aggressive with your thoughts about how he should be reprimanded and
I
or
don't
punished.
know if aggressive is the right words. I mean, we had some thoughts.
We had
Okay.
some thoughts, and we thought we'd put it into the community, and they've exactly come up with what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Have they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's my punishment for going on holiday?
Well, there's no punishment for going on holiday. It's just no effort while you was out there. That's the thing, right? You know, where others that have put in the effort, i.e., all of us three.
I mean, why would I
here's the
fly
point deduction's got to
24
happen.
hours to go on Fourever Arsenal in the nicest way? I love you guys, but like, it's quite a long way. I don't really want to jump on the pod when we're shit. Do you know what I mean? I just thought you guys got this. You guys got this, and you nailed it. You did. Look, the numbers were great. No one lost out. You know,
Fella
you didn't
said to
even
me
have...
today that
Sorry?
you should be docked a point for every episode you miss. I think that's fair.
That's fine.
It's not unfair.
Well, it's quite unfair. It's a holiday.
It's quite unfair.
I think it's the definition of unfair,
I
actually.
mean, there's a comment here. James should definitely be dropped points. Hasn't been seen in ages. Ages. Yet Lee and Jordan have been on the podcast whilst on holiday in the past.
Yeah.
It's a bit embarrassing that I stayed away from football for 3 weeks and chucked on another 2 correct scores. You like, you know, what you lot do? I didn't even pay attention. I just kept rattling them off. 0-0 Forest, 1-1 United. Just whatever you
I like
want.
that tactic. I like that tactic.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just like on the beach. Turkish goes, "What's the score?"
Yeah, so
and you lot are there thinking. You're actually like thinking about it. Oh God, what's it? Oh, I could win at Old Trafford.
It is pretty bad. It is pretty bad.
And I just put another 2 on the board like it's nothing.
Yeah, predicting results is not talent in that, then, is there?
Sorry,
it's sheer luck. You know what I mean? Like, that's why. Yeah,
Lee, you haven't got 10 across 5 years of doing this pod. Like, you know, I think just.
I don't
you want a title race,
fingers in the sand and come up with numbers, like, you know what I mean, and things like that, like, you know, and
maybe you should want practical insight.
Oh, that's 2 goals to Arsenal. Oh, look, they're 2-1 against Arsenal, like, you know, all that crap that you've been doing out there, like, you know. So yeah.
What a warm welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. Missed you guys too. Yeah, it's been nice. Not one message asking how my trip was going. Turkish asked. You lot didn't.
You FaceTime me.
That's why I defend. I did FaceTime you, you're right. But that's why I defend Turkish and his 115 charges, because he's a friend and cares about my personal life, right? I FaceTimed you because I was with Paul.
Yeah.
And he seems to like you for some reason.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Some reason. Let us know in the comments.
I've got a little story to say about it today. Like, I'll leave it to later on in the comments. But yeah, nice little story today I've got.
You know what's mad? I remember the first pod after James left, and I said, "We've got enough moaners here, 3 of us. So I don't think we need to add a 4th." And then every other result was the same story. We got to moan people, so there's no point adding a 4th person. Everyone's suggesting Curtis or Dan, and this. I'm like, well, we could add a 4th moaner, but we've got enough for the hour. Yeah. So I don't know how to play this, but James is back, so yeah.
And can I be so honest, guys? And I did know, okay, all seriousness, I did think, could I jump on, and had some internet issues or whatever, but genuinely, some of those games, I didn't want to fucking talk about them. Like, it was not going to do anything for my trip to talk about those fucking games after.
I'll get that.
It's been the Champions League, fair play, like we got it done. Real Madrid, I'm excited about that. The Berta appointment, that was definitely good news while I was away. But my word, like, when Forest away 0-0 is actually probably your best result of your 3-week stint.
Yeah, besides the Champions League, yeah.
Yeah, then yeah, that says a lot. But you know what, we won today, but it wasn't much better.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, you're in Australia. I don't want to talk about. I'm in Enfield. I don't want to talk about it. So I can understand. Even tonight, I mean, we beat them 1-0. Nice set piece, great header, I must say. But aside from that, much left to the imagination. You mentioned the Berta stuff. I guess at some point it'll be good to get your thoughts on it. We've all given our thoughts on it. Hasn't been confirmed, signed, still delivered by Arsenal, but maybe they're waiting for this week international break to ramp that up. But we've beaten Chelsea. James, let's catch up with you first. Usually we go to Lee, but let's catch up with you because it's fresh to this community now in terms of how you're feeling about it. I've been someone that's wanted to see something different whilst you've been away, just to gear up for that potential Real and now the Real game. By different, I mean maybe get another key to the lock, try and, you know, get a plan B from somewhere. I think every game that's come past, I've said this is the ideal one. There's not much on it, including this one today. But I've failed to see anything different. I don't know how you feel about it, because some people say we need to try and master what we've got now rather than think of something different. But I don't know how you feel.
I'll be honest, guys. I'm in quite a negative place when it comes to Arsenal. I'm not. Yeah, we won, and beating Chelsea will always feel good. Beating a London rival, a Big Six rival, and all that. And you know, and there were positives in our performance. We defended well. You know, we worked hard. All that kind of stuff that has been true of this team for a while now. But I'm with you. I want to see new things in this team. I thought it was a real missed opportunity not going for Waneri on the right with Trossard in the false nine and Martinelli on the left. I keep asking myself, what's the long-term plan with Mourinho up front? You know, Trossard has been a false nine for us, has been a false nine in a run-in for us, has, you know, somewhat played that position to a high level where we've been scoring goals and tearing teams apart, you know, with profiles like Martinelli and Waneri either side of him, Saka soon to return. And I wanted us to get into a rhythm for that ahead of Real Madrid. But he seems to prefer the physical profile in Mourinho. And I will say, weirdly, even though he scored, and fair play to him, it's a really good header and it's won us the game. I actually thought this was one of his worst performances. I thought he did better in other games as a bit of a hold-up play, battering. I'm not doing a lot. I mean, we're talking about box-to-box midfielder up front, right? I mean, bottom of the barrel stuff. But I thought he was a little bit more of a nuisance in other games, actually. I don't think he was great in this one. But no one really was, bar maybe the kind of the defence, really. And Rice put himself about. Partey had a good first half. So, yeah, look, I thought it was a shame that Arteta went that way with it. But look, we won. We got 3 points. And while I have an apathy about the league right now, I can't say I went into this game particularly motivated or pumped for it. It was an important win. You know, if you lose that, Chelsea are 3 points behind you, and then everyone's starting to creep up. And yes, we want first. And yeah, it's been such a disappointing league campaign for a lot of reasons. Fuck me, we can't drop to third and get involved in all that. 4 points ahead of Forest, 10 ahead of City, 9 ahead of Chelsea. If Newcastle win their game in hand, it's 8 ahead of them. I don't know who else is in the picture, but I'd still much rather that be the picture. I'm not so ambivalent that I'm like, oh, I don't care if we're second or fourth. I do want to be second, and it looks like we are securing that somewhat.
Yeah, Lee, another one you was at. How did it feel starting off? Did the vibe come back? London derby excitement. It did seem like, you know, the banner London is red. It did seem like there's a bit of fire in the belly to begin with, or was it just optics?
Strange atmosphere. First of all, I played football this morning, and so I got there dead on 1:30. Dead on 1:30. Just as good. I'm going to say this now. I cannot believe how many people were outside at 1:30. I've never experienced it before. I normally get in there a little bit, about half hour before, I suppose. Like there was thousands queuing up outside to get into this game. Like I bet that at 8 o'clock against Real Madrid, there's hardly anybody there. I bet everybody being for that game. So that told me something. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, and I thought I would just at 1:30 run straight into the turnstile and
I'm gonna. So sorry to cut you, Lee. I'm gonna just throw something in as a stretch. It's a proper reach. But there was another London derby on at the same time and a cup final at Wembley. Do you think transport issues in London might have contributed to that?
Might have done. I don't know. Like, you know,
I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah,
it's a fair question. It's a very fair question.
I think because it was 12:30 kickoff. I suppose a lot of people still have a lot of busy things to do. Like a lot of people play football in the morning or have got kids that play football. I don't know. I don't really know. It's a good point, but I was very, very surprised. It was, as I say, I've never experienced that before. So, you know, it was very, very surprising. So, as I'm going into the turnstile, I could hear the London Forever going on in the background, and it wasn't as loud as from outside. I just feel that it is a little bit flat in the Emirates at this moment in time, you know. And I get into the ground. And, you know, there's people like, with blankets and pillows these days, you know what I mean? Like, apparently like, if you're struggling to sleep, they've got the doctor's ordering us to go to the Emirates because you'd be asleep within half hour, So, it ain't a great exciting. Nothing really gets you going in the game. I've got to say that. I was sitting there watching it today, and it's an hard watch. Was it an hard watch or what? I thought it was a poor game of football. I have to say.
First half hour, I thought we were okay. And then it was just a disaster.
That tends to be the case because the first 20 minutes usually we get a foothold, we start getting into their half, pinning them back, and this is just teams in general. But then when 25, 30, 35 hits and you realize we've done all that, but we haven't created much chances or threatened the keeper much, that's when that 15 also becomes poor. And the whole, do you get what I'm saying? Because how many times can we do that?
I've got to say also that even when teams come and play a real low block against us, they look a little bit dangerous when they counter-attack sometimes and all that, But I just felt Chelsea were worse than that, toothless than us. I've got to say this.
They were bad as well. It
was
a bad game.
They were awful. I've got to say, like, two of my Chelsea mates have messaged me today like, we're not the same team without Palmer. I said, we've lost Saka for 2.5 months and we're a disgrace for not winning games of football. We're a disgrace. And that's the difference between a proper big club and a club that's been bought to be a big club. I really like, no one's really hammering into Chelsea how poor they've been or how poor they are at this moment in time. We've lost, even on match, I was just watching Match of the Day before we come on. They're without Palmer. They don't say that when Arsenal play. It's a disgrace. It's this, it's that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear excuses about Palmer. I don't want to hear. They've spent over £1 billion on a squad that's got 2 midfield players in it of over £100 million each that go around just kicking people. That's all they do. Just go around kicking people. That's what I see today. No creativity in there whatsoever. A defence that's, like made it, we look like we was going to score at times more than any other teams. We look like scoring today more than we have done in the last 3 or 4 games. Toothless up front. I think Raya made one save, which he nearly messed up. And their most dangerous player was the left back. I've got to say, I thought that they was atrocious today, and it tells me a little bit, as poor as they were, we can only beat them by a goal to nil. And, if VAR was doing its job properly, it would have been maybe 2. And because, I've watched it 4 or 5 times now. And I thought at the time Cucurella handballed it, and he did. You know what I mean? So that should have been a penalty. But other than that, I don't think Arsenal done a great deal. And I have to say that because Chelsea was so poor, it was an easy 3 points for us, right? I think any team with a bit about them will get something from Arsenal.
Surely, Lee, yeah. Don't you want to see? Don't you want to? I can't say. I was about to say I get the hesitancy in maybe trying to experiment from the get-go. I actually don't. But let's say the excuse is, you want to get a foothold in the game. You want to be winning the game. It's important. James is right. And you don't want it to be 3 points and so on. Once you realize in that game that they are toothless, once you realize that you are the dominant side, why are your substitutions on top of everything not experimented, not changing things up? Because he's mentioned Ranieri. No one talked about Ranieri up top until Arteta talked about Ranieri up top. So why don't we? I don't even want to see that. I want to see Ranieri, Odegaard, Rice midfield. That's what I would have liked to see. But then James is right. Why not a Trossard up top, Martinelli and Ranieri either side, or a Martinelli up top, which he's talked about before? We're failing to see any of these things. And even today, people are saying, live in the moment, stop being negative. But it's hard to live in the moment when the big moment's coming up. And for that moment, I'd like us to be better prepared than we are. Because Lee, you're right. Chelsea were atrocious, but we weren't much better.
No, it wasn't. And like for like substitutions, again, same substitution. And I don't know about you guys, but I was disappointed not to see Martinelli up there. Nothing against him. I thought he'd done okay. I agree with James, wasn't at his best today. But, very, very good header. But he could do that from midfield. It was a set piece. But I don't see him worrying defenders too much in the game. pace, or I don't really know physicality. I know James said there, but I didn't see him out muscling defenders there today and all that. I just want to see something different. I just want to see something different up front to give me hope going into the game against Real Madrid. I really do, because I just see the same like for like, you know. And what was the thinking of Wanyeri not playing today? What was the thinking of that? Like, he's been our best player in the last 3 or 4 games, apart from Man United.
That confused me. You know?
Is he not going to play in the Real Madrid games? Because I'd be really peeved if he don't. If he does,
is it just how old is he, Lee? Is he 18?
17.
17.
But he's 18. This would have been his last game.
Sure,
18.
yeah, true, yeah.
On the 21st, he's 18.
Yeah,
on the
it's coming up.
21st.
It might be just managing his minutes, because he's going to play a lot more minutes between now and the end of the season. He's 17 years old. Again, I'm guessing again, but I'm just thinking it might be like, all right, the kid's in our first team. He's part of our first team, but he is still 17. Playing every single game 90 minutes for a 17-year-old. You cramp after. Do you know what I mean? His body's not built yet for.
Yeah.
No, but he hasn't though. Jordan, that's the thing. He didn't play against PSV. Wait, did he play against PSV?
No,
and against Man United. Man United, he got taken off before the hour for Martinelli, remember?
Okay, yeah, all right, okay.
In this week. And he's a young man, so it is a bit confusing. Is it because under 21s have selected him and he knows that he's got a couple games coming up with them, maybe?
Could be that. That's a good point.
You're going to laugh in my face, but is it anything to do with Cucurella? I mean, you know, Cucurella's been Chelsea's one of their biggest threats actually down the left, getting up and down. Did they want Martinelli's work rate on that side? I don't think we should be preparing to stop Chelsea that much, but we know Arteta, and also dare I say, Cucurella has given Saka some good battles over the years, and maybe just kind of wanted to pull one area out of that one. Cucurella has been really physical and stuck in on Saka. I'm not saying unfairly. There've been, a few robust challenges over their last several meetings. Did he just want to pull an area out of that one? I don't know, but I don't know. Arteta thinks of everything. It wouldn't surprise me if that went through.
He's also had to get Martinelli some minutes as well, into his legs as well. So yeah,
But can someone answer, like, what's the long-term thinking with Mourinho? Is this the vision for the rest of this year? Have we got 2 and a bit more months of Mikel Mourinho up front for Arsenal? Because look, I understood it when he came on against Leicester and scored, and Sterling was in terrible form, and at that point you have no one. But we don't have no one anymore. We've got Martinelli back. Saka's on the brink of returning. Sterling was all right against PSV, but say that quietly, and also let's not really talk about it too much. You know what I mean? It's just like, is this really where we're going with it? Like, is this now because Mourinho's 6'2", good in the air, left-footed? He's the closest thing to Havertz, so we're going to use him. I mean, Trossard has played that role brilliantly. Martinelli was taught as a striker for years as a youngster. Why are we not looking at these? I find it strange.
It is strange. It's a bit worrying if I'm not going to lie to you, because let's say the inevitable happens and we go into that, no plan B, Real. My problem is it's all going to be relying on the defense, but let's just say Real do take the lead. What do we have? And I haven't seen nothing all season to say, let's go into that to be able to do something different. I haven't seen that this season. And that is worrying, especially leading up to it. And if the inevitable happens and we do go out with a whimper because of that or a lack of that plan B, then it's still very worrying moving forward, because you are right. Mourinho's like for like with Havertz, and he's done well productively in terms of 4 goals in about 8 games or something like that. That's not bad. Well, it's similar output to what we was getting there, but to rely on it now and just to keep on going with it when some of the performance level we've been showing is the same performance level that Mourinho had to come on and change up and score those 2 goals against Leicester. So how comes we had to find something to change it up against them? Was it because it was just 0-0 at that time and it was 10 minutes to go and it was backs against the wall? Is that the only difference? So if it was 0-0 with Chelsea today, would we have maybe put Martinelli up top? Or when it's like the fine margins ain't making too much sense to me right now, because we've only got a plan A, and that's the reliance on the defense. And even that, the defense has conceded chances to much lesser opposition than Real Madrid over this season. It's not been airtight. It's been the best defense in the league, but it's not been airtight, especially in the transition.
I agree.
The only one thing you can say positive is his goal ratio is pretty good per game. That's the only thing you can say. Like, you
He's
know,
a threat.
But that's what's so frustrating for me. And when I get onto Havertz and Jesus before that, because we are such a solid team. If we had a proper striker up top, because people can play there and still score, and they're going to score because we are a solid team that dominate and churn out chances. Maybe not enough chances, but churn out enough chances to. That's what's so frustrating. So Mourinho steps in. He's as productive as Havertz. Does he create as much space or win duels? I don't know, but he looks very similar in his performance level. Surprise, surprise, because none of them are strikers. So imagine we had a striker.
Do you see that Isak goal in the final?
Oh my god, I was getting there, James. Go on, you go.
No, you go. Sorry, Jordan, because we've all been talking. See, have you missed me? See, everyone got a chance to talk when I wasn't here.
That's true.
Now
That is
back.
true. That is true.
So,
that is true.
I'm here to ruin it again. But no, talk on Isak, man, because that goal, we don't have that goal in our team.
People, I watched that goal, and it's actually a harder goal than people think, but he just makes it look easy.
Yeah.
I've waxed lyrical about this guy too long. People are going to think I've got some kind of a crush on him if I carry on too much. But the range of finishes that this guy has got, and how easy he makes it all look. Look at it again. It's not an easy finish. It's not an easy finish, but he just bounces, caresses it, and he caresses it into the part of the goal. The keeper's got no chance. The guy's just unreal. I can really see him. You know, some players you can't see in blue, or you can't see in red, or you can't see in white. You can't in another shirt. You just can't see it. It's weird. I can actually see him and I'm not just saying that because I want him, but I can actually genuinely see him in an Arsenal shirt. It's just so. But I can't chat about him anymore because it'll just get me mad because we're not going to get him. So I've just got to let it go. But he's so perfect for us. It was a crap game, guys. It was a crap game, really crap game, and I don't think we were good. I thought we were okay. I don't think we're any more than that. Yeah. You've all said, all three of you, really good header. It's a flick on. It's not a good header. It's a flick on.
Yeah, it's a good header, bro.
It's a flick on. It's near post. Flick it on. Look, I'll take it.
But regardless, it's a good header because the corner's actually poor. It's low. He has to get under it, and even if it is a flick on and it's fortunate it goes in, it's a good header. The result of it is the result, but it's a good header. I can't lie to you. That was.
I think that was playing, boys.
No,
just have a look at every set piece we do. We don't stand on the goalkeeper like that. That was looked at what Chelsea do, and that was definitely rehearsed. That was one off the training ground. That was.
If it was, he needs a pay rise because there was no Chelsea player on the back post.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I thought it was fantastic, Jordan. It really was. You have a look at Arsenal's corners. They all come from the back, running to the front every single time. That one, they pinned the goalkeeper, and that was definitely planned. No play, no one on the posts. I thought that was fantastic. That was.
All right. It was planned. The clue was in the I think our first corner of the game. Declan Rice went near post, and we know that he always hits that back post. He never misses it. He went near post, and Timber messed up the flick on. So that second one was. I'm with you, Lee. I think that was absolutely a plan. I don't know if it was a plan to cross near post and Mourinho to flick it directly into the net. But the point is, you hit an area, you never know what might happen. Yeah. And I think ideally someone's either falling at the back post or it goes in. But no, I agree. I think Ødegaard actually. I think that was instruction from Ødegaard and Rice, to be fair. But it worked.
All right.
It was still a low corner. You still had to. I don't think that's instruction. Very low like that to duck and then go. It was a very good. Yeah, that's not.
Guys,
that's why I said it was a very good header, regardless of if he meant to go in or flick it on back post. He made something out of a poor corner, in my opinion.
Maybe I'm.
Jordan, we have nothing else to praise. Let's give.
Maybe I'm being miserable. Maybe I'm being miserable. But I thought it was a very low quality game. You know, you've got two supposedly top teams, not one striker on the pitch. It just, and I know there's injuries in that, but I just thought it was a really crap game. That we were the less crap rather than the better team. We weren't good. We were just not as bad as Chelsea. My only kind of comment, and people are going to think it's an agenda, and I don't really care anymore. But this flirter thing is really irking me. But the one thing that's irking me more about the flirter is the things that people are saying about the flirter. Because I listened to the halftime analysis from Gary Cahill, and what's the lady's name? Izzy Christensen.
Christensen, yeah.
And I was hearing phrases like really, really, really busy, really, really bright. You know, it looked really dangerous. I was like, he got on the ball. And it's been my criticism of him, I think, pretty much all season. People in the community accuse me of not watching the games, right? I do watch the games. But I'm starting to think now, I'm watching a different game. I'm adamant now, I'm watching a different game
Maybe
to
that's what it
everybody
is.
else.
Maybe
It
that's
must
what
be
is.
Turkish. It
Maybe
must
you're
be.
watching Spurs.
It must be, Lee. It must be. Because I'm just like, I'm not seeing what people are seeing. Or people are conflating being on the ball with looking dangerous. Just because you're on the ball lots, that doesn't mean you're dangerous. Just because you threaten to dribble, that doesn't mean you did anything. We've got to stop this praising of players, and he gets it the most. Just because he's on the ball lots, and there's a couple of good things, we go crazy. I said on the last podcast that I praised Sterling for 2 or 3 times, getting on the ball, beating his man, and crossing it. And he got a couple of. That's the kind of output I'm looking for from Trossard, from the Flirter, from Sterling. Whether we score or not is not even really important to me. But I'm judging my wingers on that. And when I constantly hear people praising him for not doing much, but he's on the ball lots, I'm genuinely baffled. This is not a campaign against him. I wanted to prove me wrong, but we've got to stop this praising of him for doing the bare minimum. Look over the course of the game. He did a couple of good crosses. I think he beat his man a couple of times, but over 90 minutes, is that enough? Is that really enough?
From injury.
Pardon?
He's just coming back from injury. Like that's his first start.
But-
I thought
but-
he was sharp in the first half.
But my point is, this has been my critique of him all season, even before the injury. He was getting praised pre-Christmas for like great performances, and I'm hearing the same phrases. He looks busy. He looks dangerous. He looks. I'm like, what? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
It's the state of our attack. Jordan, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel. I mean, I had the audacity to say I thought Marino has done all right up front. I mean, what the fuck do I even mean by that? I just mean he's won a few headers and had a few nice touches or whatever. But we are judging this attack right now by the lowest of standards because we lack creativity, we lack quality in the final third. I mean, whereas the other side of the team, the defense, I mean, I thought on an individual basis, they're all class again. We don't mention it because that's just the level they've hit. Whereas the others were kind of looking for something. So we end up actually weirdly praising Martinelli more and Saliba's or putting another 8 out of 10 and we barely mention it. I'm not even saying today, by the way. I mean,
Saliba had a moment, though.
Sorry?
Saliba had a moment where he backed off from a ball over the top. And I'm telling you, that's Mbappe or if that's Vinicius, it's a different story. Don't do that.
I didn't even really mean today. Like Timber and Lewis Skelly
general,
cruised through today. Like they were just, they just walked it, didn't they? Like they were playing. Can we just have an attack that's something like our defense? That would be nice, please.
Oh, and I watched the play ratings just earlier on. Robbie and I don't know the guy's name after the game.
Marty.
Everyone got an 8. I'm like,
you know what?
What? Everyone got an 8.
You know what? These men are bad, though, man.
I'm like, and then I come across the bad guy because I critique these players. I'm like, there was a few 6s in there. There was a few 5s.
I think 7. I think there's a few 7s.
There wasn't more than a 7 for me.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was outstanding. I agree with you, James.
Anyway.
7 out of 10.
I think there is a positive.
Go on, James.
Declan Rice was an 8.
Was he? I thought he was good. I'd have given a 7.
It was a 7 for me, tops. Yeah.
I'd say Lewis Skelly Timber was probably there.
Why don't you go and watch Spurs, you two?
But this is my point. I don't know if the bar has fallen so low. When we see something that's basic, we're just like, he was great. He was really good. Declan Rice is putting that performance with his eyes closed. But come on, we know the levels we're operating at. Let's go back. Last season, the levels. The year before, the levels. This is not the level. And I keep directing it towards the Flirter. That's maybe unfair. But it's just because he gets all the. I hear him when people are analysing our games get a lot of the credit for our attack. Like he was. I'm just like, this isn't it. Anyway, those are my thoughts.
I'll say Declan Rice. No, I'm giving him a 9. he has gone up in my estimation when that Enzo Fernandez tried to put his arm around and be nice to him, and he went, "Fuck off." Actually, it's a 9 out of 10 for Declan. I love that. You know what I mean? Like, get away, like, you know what I mean? You horrible little thing, like, you little rat. I love that. Well done, Declan, 9 out of 10. And my man of the match, or player of the match, should I say, like, you know, I thought that, you know, that's what I want to see from Arsenal players sometimes, not being nicey. Thank you, Declan.
I didn't see that.
I think there's one positive from the game. It's the first time I've really kind of paid attention to Arsenal for 5 games. You know, the others, I was just sort of a bit delirious and half asleep. Like the players, whatever we think of the level they're at, they are running for the team. They go out and they're trying. I don't question that. And I noticed we were pressing with like a front 5, and Rice would go all the way up to press, and Partey would go all the way to the back 5. So it almost had like a 5-5 press, which was really interesting. And we kind of talk about Arsenal being quite boring. Let's be honest, we've been quite boring for a lot of the season. But that might be what we need to be in the Champions League. I think Arteta is good. And listen, we're talking about Real Madrid now, so this is as big a test as you're going to get when it comes to this, right? But I think he's good at setting us up to actually make a game boring somewhat deliberately, to try and like limit the randomness and the moments. I know we were caught on transition a few times in the first half, but in the second half, I don't think it happened at all. I think we tightened up and we were good. I think we're good at like sucking the randomness out of games and kind of basically nullifying what Chelsea might do best. And I think we've seen that a few times this season, even away at Forest. I mean, the context of the title race made that a bad 2 points dropped, but we went to 3rd place in the league, who are very good at counter-attacking, and I thought gave them pretty much nothing in the game. You know, I think we're quite good at nullifying teams' best threats, but we're not very good at building on that. We're not very good at going, right, we've shut them down a bit. We've got through 20, 30 minutes. You know, we've been winning the ball back. Our press is good. We're in their final third. Now can we raise it? And we don't have that in us. But that's player quality, coaching, probably a bit of both. And that's something we're going to need to do against Real Madrid, because Real Madrid could slap us. Of course they could. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's half time at the Emirates 0-0. And actually they've not done too much. And we've kind of kept it all a bit tight and we've kept them at bay a bit. But at some point you need to put your foot on the gas a bit. And I don't think we have that in us at all. And eventually we wither away and the chances come for the other team.
And also, there's a better team than Real Madrid in this Champions League yet.
PSG, is that what you're thinking?
No.
Barcelona.
They done something today that I've seen Real Madrid struggle with. Like, you know, they could not break it down and all that. Barcelona. Four goals in Madrid. Like, unbelievable. 1-0 down at half time. You're thinking, right, that's it. And Real Madrid struggled against them. They really did, but Barcelona blew them away.
It was 2-0 down, 1-0 half time, 2-0 with 20 to go.
Yeah, wow. Unbelievable.
A Barca PSG final would be an unbelievable final. Listen, we want to be there, obviously.
That's the issue for me, because these men have. It's all good and well trying to manage the fine margins for 95 minutes a game. But especially when you're coming up against Europe's elite, they have players that say, fuck the margins. Like, fuck doing this for this. It's my time now. PSG have those players. Real have those players. Barcelona have those players. Whereas we don't have those players in attacking midfield. So, you know, hence why, as much as you are right, it seems like we nullify pretty much every opponent. So why are we on the same points tally as Emery's first season?
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know, it hasn't as much as we haven't even built on that. Have we nullified every team when teams quick transition? They've managed to create better opportunities than us in the first 30-35 minutes when we've dominated the game, and then we look back and wonder how. So I don't know. Again, I'm not optimistic about it, but what can we do?
No, Turkish. I don't think we nullify every team, and I don't think we will for 180 minutes against Madrid. I just think that's the game plan, and more often than not, we're good at going for long spells in games against teams where actually they don't really get near our goal. But you've got to do something at that point. It's like, great, well, cool, we've kept it all quite neat and level. What do we do after that? I was enjoying a wonderful hate watch in an Irish breakfast cafe, watching PSG Liverpool. And I was sat there thinking, look at the tech in that PSG. I mean, midfield is one thing, but their front three. And when I mean tech, I mean, look at the way they could wriggle out of a tight position. Look at the way they could play off both feet. Look at the way they could get a shot off goal with very little. And I'm sorry, I'm not here to berate our whole team. I'm really not. I'm still on my holiday highs. But Havertz, Trossard, and I feel a bit harsh saying about Trossard, but Martinelli, they're not. I kind of go for that. Marino, let's chuck him in there, right? They don't have the tech that a lot of those PSG front players had. You know, moments out of nothing, little space, making it happen, endeavour and something in the moment that just got them out of a situation. I think Waneri has it, but obviously he's still very young.
Yeah.
I think Saka has it as well. I think Saka's got it in intelligence as much as anything as well. But I was watching those players like, oh my God, like these are footballers, proper footballers. That's what we need to add this, this summer. Really, really techie forwards.
It's going to be, listen, all hands on deck when the time comes. Still 2 more games to go in between that. Dare I ask, what happens if we go 1-0 down against any of these sides? That's where it starts becoming like, oh, well, that's it then. And, to avoid going 1-0 down against Real in 2 legs, or then PSG in 2 legs, or Barca in the final. Barca in the final would be the dream. A chance for a bit of revenge, but the El Clasico is on the cards too in the final. PSG Barca, Enrique returning to Barca's on the cards as well. So there's a few stories there. And listen, Bayern are still on the other side of things, as well as Inter.
I was going to say, Inter might scumbag their way to a final as well,
Yeah.
No, they're a good side, man. They don't concede goals.
Yeah.
They conceded 2 in the Champions League. No, did they beat final 2-1, was it? No, not final. Who did they play last round?
I can't remember.
I think they've
conceded it was finaled. It was finaled.
I think they conceded 1 in that game. So that's 3 all tournament, 2 in the first 8 games.
Am I right? They haven't conceded the San Siro. Is that right? Is that record still going that they haven't conceded San Siro? Maybe they haven't.
I think it was 2-1 to them against Feyenoord in the San Siro, I believe. Off the top of my head, that is anyway. But yeah, Darren, with a shout. Bayern, obviously, Kane's still banging in goals, and Elise Kimmich is having a great season. They've got threats of their own experience there, so still early days. But yeah, Lee, tickets sorted, travel sorted. Sorry, James.
Not at the moment, but your ticket's sorted, like, you know what I mean. So yeah, everything,
Go on, James.
Going according to plan. I think that as it happens, I was having a look today that Madrid flights have slightly gone down from £700 to £500 now. So yeah.
Oh, is it?
Were they really £700?
£700 they were direct from Madrid. So yeah, very expensive.
Yeah, that's how it gets.
But obviously, there are other places you can go. Like you can go Alicante, and it's about a 4-hour drive. Valencia, I've done. When we played Madrid in the semi-final, we went from Valencia. It's not a bad drive. So and they're about £300, which is still quite dear for what it is. And don't forget also that it's half term that week as well, so flights are always that little bit dearer anyway.
Yeah.
So so it is what it is. It's going to be dear. So
why don't you get the Eurotunnel to Paris and then drive 13 hours to Madrid? Make a road trip with it.
Yeah. Well, when do we leave? Sunday? I
don't know. I don't have to come. It's up to you.
No, I don't know. Like,
I think I'm doing a road trip, by the way, with my friends. So yeah,
I'll leave it up to the powers to be what they want to do. And I'll just be there.
Looks like I'm going to Bordeaux. 11 hours to Bordeaux and drive, and then stop over, and then wake up, and 7 hours to Madrid. That's what the message was.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be sick if it's not 4-1 after the first leg. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, we better stay in this game after that first leg, because this is costing an arm and a leg. Give me something to believe in.
Big up to Cecil today, missed his flight. Mr. Chelsea going there, missed his flight.
He missed his flight.
Yeah.
So
Where's he going?
He's going to LA, like he's going out to work there, and yeah, he
How
couldn't.
do you do it?
You know, what do you have to have when you go to America? That sort of visa thing.
Oh, the Esther.
Esther, like, yeah, he's
He's
got
run out.
that.
Oh.
No, it hadn't run out, but because he's got a new passport, it doesn't. So, like, you know, he's thinking that he's got it. Yeah, and it didn't, like, you know. So there's a little lesson for everybody. I did not know that.
Yeah, we done that big 6 as well. Matisse changed his or reshaped his name or whatever, changed his surname, and then we went to the airport. Esther, he had one. Nope, not with this new name. You don't. He had to he flew to Denmark and then to LA. Otherwise, he would have had to wait 3 days for another flight from London. So when we landed in LA, he's in. I think it was Denmark. He was in.
That was this year, wasn't it? Like when we went out, we met you out there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Last year.
Yeah. So like, you just got to be careful with travel and all that, like, you know. So
Is he still going? Though?
Yeah, he went DR Sports and done a weekend roundup, and then went Denmark. He went there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, if we can get it tomorrow, I think, like, you know, which when I done mine, I got it within an hour. So, but apparently, like, you know, Sundays they obviously don't work, do they?
So did Cecil end up not getting? Well, listen, that's just conversation for after. We're live recording right now. We're just talking about Cecil.
You know, I just say big up to Cecil. I hope he's watching.
That's
I did not laugh. Tell me I'm not laughing.
That is brutal.
Hey, Cess. We saying?
I don't know how you have any friends, Lee. Nasty.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. Like, he missed a Chelsea game as well.
Oh, mate. Cool. What are we moving on to? I mean, Fulham predictions.
Comments.
2.5 weeks away.
Barn Fulham. Comments.
Oh, can
Listen,
I say that I met a fella called Chuck today?
Let's get to James.
Story.
Chuck.
Yeah, good up, big up to Chuck. He was at the game today, and his lovely girlfriend. They watched the pod together, like, and the reason they watch it is because she likes me, like, you know what I mean? Just he told me that story today, you know what I mean? So
You've made that
good up
story.
on you, Chuck. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah,
Of course it's made up.
You'll believe anything.
No, and again, I've got us another viewer. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how I'll do it. Like, you know?
Yeah, we're struggling, aren't we? Yeah.
Well, you know, views are going to go down now, Jordan. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Pushed up again.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. Every view counts now. Yeah.
Every view counts now. Like, I'll tell you, like.
Fair play. Thank you for the grinding you guys are doing to keep this podcast afloat. We really appreciate it.
I mean, you say it with a sarcastic tone there, James, but we have been working really, really hard. This doesn't just happen. We've got to put some thought into what we're going to say, questions that are asked, answers that are answered. We've got to watch the games, analyze it, do some stat looking at.
James, whilst you was
Didn't
away,
you get the wrong time, Jordan?
Whilst you was away, James, let me tell you a little story now. Whilst you was away, whilst you was away, Thursday morning, you know, after a Champions League game, I think it was, wake up. It's about 6.
Here we go.
6:45 in the morning. I'm quite early. I've had an early night. I don't sleep before 12. I think I slept 12:05. Made the tea ready. Oh, Lee messages the group. Invincible podcast was moved back an hour early on Monday, so I'm on the way to the studio now. Can we rearrange? Number one.
That was not last week.
No, that was the week before. An hour before a pod. That's never happened before. But guess what? Next week, wake up in the morning. Jordan, 7 a.m. Can't do the pod. This has come up. Sorry, guys. Welcome to back to back. Back to you was there, but you've had one each, and that's the most disgraceful miss ever. You might as well miss the whole thing. You might as well miss the whole thing and say my bad a few hours later because
he's a serial offender, Lee.
What serial offender?
Once.
So hold on. So you two gave me shit for not turning up, having booked time off because I was on holiday, getting much needed rest and time to myself. And you two actually couldn't make your scheduled planned podcast, but it's okay because you told
Hold on a
someone
minute.
in public.
I was
watch the
told by the
show.
boss I had to be in early for the Invincible. There's nothing I could do about it. What could I do? I just
Next
said
time,
that.
tell him if Forever is before.
I did tell him. You know what he said? He
What did he
said,
say?
I'm more important.
Hey, we'll put a poll
Well
out there
done,
and
mate.
find out what's going on about Forever or
Well done, mate.
Invincible. Let's not do that. And
No,
Jordan,
not that. It was just that he's more important. He had a meeting, and that meant that I had to leave earlier, and I could not do it. Like, you know.
and Jordan, I've never done that actually. I've never woke up in the morning and cancelled an hour early. So don't accuse me of that, please.
No, you don't wake up.
Yeah, wake up, yeah.
Okay, no, I've done that, but that leaves.
Oh, I've done that.
leaves you-
No, I've done that. I've done that more than once. That's all right though.
But you know the feeling that leaves you with is hope that I am gonna wake up. Whereas you lot cancel,
No, it's not.
that your
Yeah.
hope is dashed. You've dashed my hope at 7 a.m. You
Yeah.
man still have hope. That's the big
No.
difference here.
The difference
Emotional.
is, at least out of courtesy, I messaged so that when you did get up, you can go back to bed. You haven't got to worry about is he going to
I
turn
did
up.
go back to sleep for an hour. Thank you, Jordan.
There you go, because I'm that sort of guy. Whereas when we come on the screen and one member doesn't turn up, phones
Listen.
ringing, ring, nothing. We're in limbo.
When I put on the link,
You have hope.
it's a blank screen, a black screen. I panic when it's black, and that man in the top left's not on it. Oh dear! I go,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
dear. There could be a problem here, Houston. There may
got a
be a
problem.
problem, like you
Yeah.
know. And
Big
bloody well, 9 times out of 10, it is.
9 times out of 10 this season, I've had one.
And
one
then
L
all
to my
you get
name.
back is this is what you got. My bad.
I don't know what
My
you
bad.
want. I don't know what you want. Even when I
Flowers.
see you, Lee, I give you a hug. I say, Lee, come on, man.
My
It's all
bad.
love. It's all love. But how did this look? James is now quiet. I'm trying to protect James. He's left me in it now, just getting attacked from both angles. But yeah, we move.
Appreciate it.
Berta quickly, James. What was your
Yeah.
thoughts on that before comments of the day?
Listen, I'm no expert on Berta. I've watched some really good videos. I thought your take on it was really interesting. I tell you what surprised me, and I genuinely mean this as a compliment, how much some maybe more critical fans of the club were really happy about the appointment, which is always a good sign. I know you said he was your number one. I'm no expert on the guy. There's two things I like about it. A, there's a track record of signing forwards. It's not
Yeah.
always worked, but my word, there's a lot of success stories in there. And secondly, I said something a few years ago when there were real doubts about Arteta and people talk about the process. And I think I said a line, something like, a really good process doesn't live and die by Arteta. And in the last few years, it's felt like it has, or it would. Basically, it's Arteta's process. And without him, you go completely new direction. And I feel, I could be wrong, I feel like this is its own appointment that the club have made, regardless of Arteta. Someone that they think can complement Arteta, someone they think can come in and build on the great work he's done, and hopefully everything can kind of kick on after what's been a season of regression for sure. But it feels like it was made with Arsenal in mind, not what Arteta needs in mind. And I think that's a good thing. You could say it's not. You could say, no, you need to get Arteta's man, someone who could work perfectly with him. But I think Arsenal need to be more future-proof and smart than that. Someone who for 11 years, I know not every Atleti fan loves him, but again, I'm not that research on him. But 11 years, a part of what's been a great run for Atletico in terms of claiming 2 La Liga titles, getting to 2 Champions League finals, winning a lot of trophies, having one of the best managers in world football and churning out and signing and selling some of the best talent and doing big money deals, sometimes going, out as well as in. Listen, how much is it down to him? He must have played some sort of clearly very positive part in it. So I'm very encouraged, but the work starts now. I don't think, there's a lot of pressure on him kind of immediately. How will it all work out with Arteta and the Cronkies and the budget, whatever? It also strikes me as someone who maybe wouldn't have taken the job if he didn't have some sort of guarantee of being able to do it. But that could just be hopeful thinking. So anyway, yeah, I'm encouraged. I really am encouraged. I watched you guys. You were all pretty encouraged about it. I know you were, Turkish.
Yeah, I like the appointment. I don't want no excuses with the striker
Mm.
role, and I don't want no
Yeah.
excuse with the sporting director. And I think Brzezinski or whoever, Alabe, and they all came with excuses. Where this guy here, no one can turn around in August and say, "Ah, it's his fault we didn't sign this player," because we've seen him sign top players. You mentioned
Yeah.
forwards; he signed top players across the board. Rodri
Yeah.
is another one. Marcus Llorente is another one. Kieran Trippier, Jan Black. He's signed a hell of a lot of players over that 10-year period. So
Yeah.
there's no excuses with him. There's no, inexperience. Plus, he comes in with Arteta kind of insinuating he had no part to play in the role. I like that. Like you said, I think someone to challenge. Simeone said he challenged me a lot, but we both had the love for Atletico and the project. So we aligned come the end of it. Love that.
Mm.
That's how it needs
Yeah.
to be. Someone to challenge up and challenge down. And that's Arteta and Kroenke. And I believe he's got enough about him to say he's the biggest football man in this company right now. You know,
Yeah.
Is he the guy that finds the talent, or is he the guy that the talent is brought to him and he gets the deal done? You with me?
That's a great question. That's a great
mix.
question.
I'd say
Because
a mix.
if he's the guy, because if the case is that the scouts and the coaching guys go to him and say, these are the 4 guys we want this summer, we've identified Arteta's system, we think they'll take the club on, yada yada yada, over to you, and he's a closer, he doesn't mess around, that's one thing. Or is he the guy that actually finds talent and has contacts in talent? Do you know what I mean?
I think he's more he's got more like, for example, I'd say I'm not too sure Simeone wanted Felix. If I'm honest, I think that was more him that off the back of the Griezmann deal said, this is available. I think, but then there's deals where I'd say Simeone handpicked that person, like potentially even a Conor Gallagher in the summer, just gone.
So the Felix would be to more James's point that this guy is looking at Atleti's interests rather than Simeone's. He's saying to him, no, you might not want this guy, but this guy is a guy we think's the guy for the next 5-6 years when you're long gone. Okay.
Yeah. And he's been proactive. Sorry, go on, James.
Yeah. No, you made a great point, Turkish, about what he's done in terms of market opportunities like David Villa and Luis Suarez. And what I really like about those deals, because they literally went and won the league after getting 2 players that were supposedly past their best, leaving clubs that were ahead of Atletico Madrid. And what I love about that was it shows that this isn't someone who basically needs £100 million to go on the right player, or else he can't improve the squad. He might get the number 9 we want. He might get Zubimendi and get that done. And then the left winger, he might just sniff out a market opportunity like Sane on loan. So Sane, whose contract's expiring, and I, it's so stupid, but I stomach that much more under Roberta than I did when it was like, then maybe I would have last summer, where I was like, oh, look, Sane's still a very good player. I mean, I saw that amazing run he did the other night in the Champions League. Still obviously a very good player. But, I think he will be that touch more savvy in terms of, all right, I can't have every resource I need, but this is where the big resources are going to go. I'd be amazed if our biggest spend is on a left back again this summer. I'd be utterly amazed. But he might find a savvy investment if Kivior goes, or a Zinchenko goes, or a Trossard goes, or a whatever.
And we might need a left back. That's the irony. This window, we actually might need a left back. Do you know what I mean?
Mental. I think he'll look at something like 25 million for Johan Garcia and laugh in their face. Do you know what I mean? He'll go, I'd quite like that 25 million to go on a fucking striker. Let me find, I don't know, and he'll pick out a savvy number 2, which we seem to need to replenish every year. So, I'm excited, but I've seen this before. Look at United fans, how they felt about Ineos a year ago to how they do now. These things can change very quickly. Let's see if he does the work. And also, Arteta's not absolved of any responsibility now. Like, whenever we signed a player, it wasn't, Edu brought in Rice. Edu, well done. Yeah, he got praise. But it was Arteta made the call. Arteta convinced him on the project. So what are going to be the media lines when we get a big player in that we're excited about? Berta was at the heart of it. Arteta made a phone call. How's that dynamic going to work? I'd like a bit of transparency on that, because I fear that if we have another not great window, we'll be talking about Berta, but the consistent has been Arteta. You know, so I'm open to it all, is what I'm saying.
I think the club. I think with disappointment, I'm weary to say the club have done a good thing, and by that I mean the people in charge, because you know how I feel about them. But it does feel like it's, you know, getting in that man that's been there, done that in a similar type of situation on a certain type of budget. So now it must work or changes will be made type of sporting director coming in. And listen, his track record speaks for itself. He goes for the young prospects if need be. He'll go for the banging strikers if need be. If they don't work out, he's also proactive in getting them out. Jackson Martinez is one. I understood why they went for him. He was a striker in form. Didn't work out. See you later. Felix took a little while to see you later, but in the end, it was see you later. With us, we kind of dwell too much on poor signings, and we let it get the better of us, affect the wage bill, or, you know, our chances of getting someone else in. He's done the lot. Even a 20 million Rodri to a 70 million from Man City in 1 year. He's done the lot, so there's no excuses with him. He's done 2 titles there, one with Messi and Ronaldo, or helped with Simeone. So yeah, and he's worked with Simeone, a manager that is, you know, listen, Arteta's worked with Pep, and Berta's worked with Simeone. Pep and Simeone, top 3 managers of this generation, alongside Klopp, in my opinion. So we must be in a good place now to get. You know, we can't have this person, and then the players we're getting are not a representation of the level of people we're getting in the sporting director role, for example. So let's see. But yeah, no prediction to make, prediction table to bring up. Lee did get the correct score, 3 points, and he's 4 points clear of me at the bottom of the table.
I don't like that I'm only 5 points ahead of Jordan. I mean, I should be.
I do. I mean, you might be less than 5 points in a minute, James. So you better take the 5 point lead, mate. That's what I'd say.
I'm just like I might not win the league, and I've got 10 correct scores. I mean, this is incredible. This would be like Jurgen Klopp getting 98 points, not winning the title. I mean,
the game is the game. The game is the game, James.
But you'd be assuming Jordan's Man City, and I think that's a big assumption. So, yeah.
So rude.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Right now, it looks more like Arsenal, Liverpool before you went to Australia, and we know how that turned out over the next.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah.
So let's talk him.
I'm not a bottle job, James. You got to go to Leeds and you got to get something, because I'm coming for you, mate. And I love it. If you bottle this league.
We're going to start scrapping, aren't we?
Yeah, why not end it with a Fourever Arsenal boxing event?
I'm down.
Cool. And James, you haven't even picked up your prize from last year, and sell by date is.
That's
I
expired.
was going to say, can I be real with you guys? I feel really cheeky asking. I've left it so long. Do you know what? Guys, the kits this year haven't been great, have they?
I'll get 2 next year. I'm happy to do that if you want.
Yeah,
but I'll get 2 of the, like, you know, the cheaper ones, not the
sports
replica
ones.
match.
To best, I'm not on my Cronkey stuff right now, so I've got a website, Soccer Triads. They like for like kit. I'll get you that one, and we don't need to skip. We don't need to give Cronkey's the money if you're interested. $16.99, mate. You're
you gotta get the real deal.
Just don't wash it more than 2 times, and I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I finished last and I had to fork out 60 quid, these guys are paying a fine.
Real deal.
Cronkey's has 100 million on Rice. Then I thought, all right, well, it's different times now. Different times.
Yeah, I hear it. Next year's kits look good though, so that's
promising. Next year the red and white one looks very good, and the white one, I think, blue. I'm not so
white
sure.
And burgundy. The white and burgundy.
The home kit looks really nice. I might purchase.
Well, look, I haven't won it yet. Let's respect the opposition. You know,
that's right.
Still games to play.
Well,
it's not locked in yet.
I'll have to be getting my old card out when I thought I ain't going to be winning it.
Yeah, we're out.
Who would you rather want it, Lee? Would you like to see Jordan get his first start, or do you want to see me level up on titles?
There's always that thing of not seeing someone not winning it. But no, I've only got 1 title, so I'm Team Jordan.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Turkish?
No, I get it. Of course, he wants you, Jordan. He doesn't want me to equal the 2.
Okay.
This is like Liverpool about to hit. Well, they're about to hit 20 titles or something. They're,
Yeah, so he's
It's
on
like-
two.
it's
They
like a
know
match
no one else
for
gets.
United.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah,
funny
I mean-
because I can't stand Liverpool, but I was rooting for them today because I don't want Newcastle to win a trophy. They deserved it fully, by the way. But the
Oh,
fact
they're
it's been
brilliant,
70
Newcastle.
years, no trophy, I love that, and I just wanted to. I want
How
to
can
carry
you
on.
love that?
I love it. I
Nah.
just love it.
you
I
know,
love it.
I'm actually happy for them.
I can't
I'm
stand
actually
I
them.
was happy for Newcastle. I love
No,
No,
Newcastle.
I weren't rooting for him, but do you know what I wanted today was the best team to win, and that's what happened. They were the best team. And I'll tell you what it showed you today, and that's even in professional football at the highest level in a cup competition. What it showed me today, that one team wanted it more than the other. They were desperately wanting that Newcastle,
Yeah.
and that's it showed. It showed. I thought Liverpool were poor today.
worthy winners, and this kind of
Worthy winners, yeah.
This is the point I didn't make. The big frustration for me, guys, about Arsenal isn't even that we haven't won the title. That's not my biggest frustration. My biggest frustration is we haven't been in a position to capitalize if Liverpool collapse. I think they win the title regardless, right? Even if we had won the last 2 or 3 games. But the fact that we've just like given it to them and bent over and just taken it, Liverpool are fading, but it doesn't matter because the gap is so far now, it's irrelevant. And my big anger is that we didn't even give ourselves a chance to be in a position where if they did collapse or if they did just wobble a little bit, we could pounce. We're miles off it.
They look very jaded today.
They did.
Yeah, I think the 100. I mean, PSG, you know, in the space of a week, 6 days actually gave them a real run around. I mean, PSG,
Tough, two tough games, yeah.
that's not, and I know Arsenal fans feel away when people say this, but that's not the PSG we faced. Enrique
Oh no.
has got them
Different
going.
game, different competition now, James.
It is, but you know what we were so good at when we beat them at the Emirates 2-0, and I actually think that's one of our performances of the season. We were so physical, like we just ran all over them, and I think that's something we're going to have to try and use if we're going to do anything in the Champions League, is just be bigger and faster than these teams.
Isn't it? Yeah,
It's one of our few at the moment. Like, just try bully teams, but then Real Madrid just, you know, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Bellingham, Modric, class acts. Danny Ceballos looks good for them. Like, their midfield's hardly one you can just walk all over. Do you know what I mean? Like, pray for us.
let's do comment of the day then, people.
Speaking of praying,
yeah, everyone good to go?
I last night, I was a bit drunk. I was out, had some, I was out with my friends, and I went, let's just tune into the, Fourever Arsenal comments. They were all killing me. I don't know what you guys said.
battered you. It was Lee. To be fair, it was Lee that was just two-footed.
Absolutely, like I didn't feel remotely welcome coming back today.
Every other comment.
Right, no. You got to understand that there's a cult out there. They're very passionate about this podcast wherever
Amen.
I go, and you've let them down. You've let them down. You've chose not to be bothered with them. And
Chuck and Ellen are flipping out somewhere.
I went on holiday.
I've had people coming up to me, James, even at the game yesterday, and go, "James is a disgrace." I've been going, yeah, I agree with you.
James out.
James is a disgrace.
I
believe that one.
To go on this holiday, and people are getting mad at me because I didn't jump on StreamYard for an hour.
Well, even one of them said he's gone on his own Gooniverse and he ain't come on this one. It's a disrespect.
Did you watch that Gooniverse vid?
To be fair, I watched your video where you were walking around half Australia.
Yes. I
was in the outback at 6 a.m.
Yeah, but the whole internet was all right there, wasn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Wasn't it?
Yeah, that's my point. I had to walk in the streets to upload the video.
Yeah,
James
is like,
just like,
Jamie
where am I?
The lion's den.
Hold on, is that not evidence? Right? I had to take to the streets to record and upload my video. What did you want me to do?
But you still did it.
So what you're saying is there's no internet in Australia. It's poor.
No. That's
right.
not.
What are you saying then?
What I'm saying is, I was staying with people. I didn't want to interrupt them. Where they're 11 hours ahead, so it didn't always match up. And I wanted to go to the beach. I don't know.
So you're going to have to expect a bit of heat, aren't you?
Yeah. In life, we have choices to make. You made your choice. The community gave their choice.
Yeah, you've let them down.
That doesn't
I
make
went
sense.
to Bondi Beach.
Really, you should have come on today with a with an apology. There's been, you know,
That's
all
the
you've done is
chocolate.
basically what Turkish does. My bad, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
He's learned from
my
the best.
pal,
Where's the
He's
chocolate?
learned from the best.
Where's the
Yeah.
flowers?
Oh, you know what? My bad.
that's it.
And give them the 2 middle fingers as well whilst you're at it. Fuck it. And they call me moaners. Look at them over this right-hand side.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's embarrassing.
I mean, Lee said
Aye,
the
what a
stuff
thumbnail.
we
If me and
do
James
at
are on the
podcast.
thumbnail like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, going back to this is my comment of the day.
Go on.
James needs to be docked 3 points for every missed pod. There you go. Like, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is one
3.
comment there.
Well, before we read them out, let's agree what the dockage.
Well, I think 3 points is a bit hard.
You're not docking any points. Stop trying to create a title race by dragging me down to your shit levels. Okay?
But James, you've seen it yourself. To be fair, every other comment is saying that James got it.
Every comment. That's because they want a title
it's
race.
got to be you know, I mean, I think what we should do, Turkish, is put up a poll. Should it be
Agree.
1 point, 2
Yep.
point, 3
Absolutely
point, 4,
fucking
5?
not.
10,
Hold on.
or 10.
And let the community decide.
I
That is
agree.
a fair thing for me.
It is. We're here for them.
If I'm getting
We're here
docked
for
for
Put on
every
there no
podcast I
points as
miss,
well. I'm happy with that.
if I'm getting dock points for every pod I missed, I'm charging for every pod I missed. Okay, like I'm sending an invoice, and Robbie's going to call you lot, going, "What the fuck is this? He's been
Call me.
away. Why is he charging me?"
That's Rob's problem. Dock him.
No,
Dock
no,
him.
no.
That's between you and Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. All right. Fine, fair
We'll
enough.
sorted it then. He's invoicing, we're deducting, and we'll see how it looks. I'm taking
Yeah,
free of
yeah,
Jordan
yeah,
whilst we're at it as well.
Mine is from No More Mr. Nice Guy. Quite a good name. He's got the most used phrases. Lee says, "You know what I mean, like Jordan." I'm going to disagree with you a little there. Turkish, love for the love. James, I've forgotten what he sounds like. I get it. I get it. Okay, I get it. I was away. I'm sorry.
I'll go next.
Go on.
I've got a couple. So I've got the first one here. Jordan watches highlights so much it's filtered through to his beard. Get it? Get it? Get it? Get it? I've heard.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
I've heard of Michael Jordan, but I wasn't aware of Mackerel Jordan. Big up, James. The last few pods have been
Yeah,
the
it was
best
the fish.
podcast. I was eating fish all nightly. It was delicious.
It was
Hey,
delicious.
take it easy, mate. It's all good. Take it fucking easy.
What were you doing your pastime? We don't want to know if you're eating fish all night.
It was a good night.
We just want to know at meal times. You know what I mean? That's
I
what
told
we
you, I was eating fish.
Just asked about the mackerel,
You know
mate.
what I mean? James
What'd you have for
turning,
dinner? Sorry.
Mackerel.
James turning into the Tomiyasu of the pod. And the last one just says, "Yeah, who is James? I cannot remember him."
Yeah, no, Tommy Asher, that's your new name, Tommy.
Tommy Asu.
3 weeks I was away. 3.
Embarrassing.
Like, oh my word.
I've got a few as well. Doris, yeah, with a timestamp said Lee fighting for his life to say community, and I can't lie to you. I watched it. a
I
few
saw it
times
as well.
and
I
Yeah,
saw
haven't
it.
seen that.
Yeah,
Ali, are
I
you
saw it.
English, bro? Are you
I saw
actually
it.
English? Like, tell me your background because I thought you was English.
I saw it at the time.
Hey,
Are
where
you
is
I
that?
English?
don't
Like,
remember
is your-
doing that night. No, it was lunch.
Is your heritage English? I want to know.
And Doris, do one, will you? Right.
How can the man be English and
I
is
saw it
English?
live.
Yeah. I don't care for Doris, right?
Big up Doris. The Red Giant says, just like when the glove didn't fit, they had to acquit. When James misses a show, his points must go. I just like
There
the
you go.
There you go. There you go.
I just like the poem. And Off the Chosen one said, Lee always looks offended when Turkish criticizes
Oh,
Havertz.
I see that. I disagree with that.
I don't know. I need to go back and check. Next time I'm gonna look straight at you and I say, all right.
Yeah. I still like Kai. I'm a big Kai fan.
All right, but are you? I haven't heard that before.
I got another
I'm
one. Sorry.
Go on.
This is so true. Azil Kenke says the guys opting to dock points off James instead of admitting they miss him will never not be funny. He just
But why is
missed
it?
me.
But hang on, why is it either or? Why can't we dock the points and miss you?
Someone goes, I'm actually concerned how long James has been out for. I just want to be concerned. I was on holiday. Let me not.
I was meant to shout somebody out, but I forgot who it was.
Someone
Definitely.
put James is taking the piss. It's his job. I was like,
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Let me get this. I've just seen this one and it's hilarious. Like it's
Fair point.
absolutely hilarious. Curls on Travel said Kai would be good for Madrid. His awkward style would distract Rudiger, perhaps enough to give Martinelli space between the centre backs and fullback. Turkish lacks a picture of the game in favour of personal agendas at times, something he needs to work on. That's one of the Kai would be perfect against Madrid guys.
Here. I do think you've got to work on some things.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Marino's doing the same job. Maybe just creating a little less space. Love for the love. Hit the like button.